In Parshat Vayera, we read a very interesting story. We call it the story of Sdom, where God confides in Avraham and tells him his intention to destroy the city of Sdom because of their sins. And Avraham, as we know, davens on behalf of the people of Sdom to try to save them. But we call it a tefillah, a prayer, but in fact, it doesn't sound very much as a prayer at all. Avraham seems more to be arguing, debating, or negotiating as he argues that the city should be saved on behalf of 50 or 40 or 30 or 20, etc., tzaddikim, righteous people in the city. And these multiple aspects of Avraham's encounter with God is highlighted by Rashi as he picks up on the language used by Avraham as he begins his conversation with God. Vayigash Avraham, that Avraham approaches God. Vayomer ha'aftis pet tzadikim rasha, and the word vayigash, to approach, Rashi says, could have multiple connotations. Hagasha l'milchama, encountering as in a war. Hagasha l'pius, or encountering in negotiation or begging, as in the case of Yehuda when he approaches Yosef and begs for compassion. And Hagasha l'tefillah, and the word vayigash also refers to tefillah in other contexts. And Rashi says, L'chol eila nichnas Avraham. Avraham approached God in all these multiple aspects and capacities. L'daber kashot, to speak difficultly, harshly. U'lepius, and to beg, and to tefillah, and to daven. And for example, we see Chalila la hashafet kol haaretz lo yaseh mishpat. How can you, God, the judge, the righteous judge of the world, could do injustice? What you're doing, God, is not right. At the same time, Avram uses the language Avram said, I myself of dust and ash as I speak to you, God. Because Avram speaks to God in both of these ways. He speaks harshly and strongly and argues and asserts his opinion. And at the same time, he acknowledges his humility and his acquiescence to the justice of God. And in reality, every tefillah that we offer has both of these aspects. Because on the one hand, we're asking God that although you might intend to do one thing to me, I believe that you should do something different. I believe that it's not right, that I deserve more, that someone else deserves more, or I believe that even though I don't deserve it, I'm begging you to give me what I want anyway. We are arguing, we are begging, and we are also submitting, because ultimately at the end, if we don't get what we want, we recognize that we have asserted our view, but we submit to the judgment of God. And Avraham concludes his tefillah, V'Avraham shav l'mekomo, that Avraham, after the whole thing, returns to his place. He puts himself back in his place, even after God ultimately does not agree to what Avraham wanted. Avraham submits and accepts what God told him. And really this is true about all of our tefillot and our religious lives in general, where we're encouraged by the Torah to assert our own views and to have the confidence to say what we believe is right and to express what we desire, and to develop our sense of self and confidence and our own views, at the same time to have the humility of Avram Avinu, of Anochi Afar Va'efer, and to return to our place when God, recognizing that God makes all the final decisions in the world and in our lives.